thankful that you're here. The weekend leave you feeling numb, but now the week is almost done. So open up those big old hearts and open up your ears, 'cause there's a special delivery for all you special freaks and norms and nerds. Oh, there's a special delivery of stuff that you'll be happy that you heard. Cool. Thanks for coming, everybody. Good show tonight. NDK's here. I'm going to talk about art. Lucia is here of Turnip King and Anna Altman, one of my favorite songwriters in Brooklyn. And I'm going to sing now a Dixie Chick song. Hello, Mr. Heartache. I've been expecting you. Come in and wear your welcome down the way you always do. You never say if you're here to stay or only passing through. So hello, Mr. Heartache. I've been expecting you. I don't feel like company. You make yourself at home, even though you know I'd rather be alone. Love walked out on me and didn't even close the door. The next thing I know, I'm staring at your shadow floor. So hello, Mr. Heartache. I've been expecting you. Come in and wear your welcome down the way you always do. You never say if you're here to stay or only passing through. Hello, Mr. Heartache, I've been expecting you. Say that it was nice. See you back again. We're not exactly strangers, but we're not exactly friends. You know that you're not welcome, but you keep on coming round. The last thing that I need is you. Kick me when I'm down. So hello, Mr. Heartache. I've been expecting you. Come in and wear your welcome down the way you always do. You never say if you're here to stay or only passing through. Hello, Mr. Heartache, I've been expecting you. I've been expecting you. Thanks. I was talking to Jordan the other day about, he asked me when my Beatles phase was, and I told him I bought, like my parents didn't listen to them around the house. But, let's see, when I was in 5th grade, they started playing infomercials a lot for that Beatles 1 album, the, like, compilation of #1 hits that came out, maybe in around, like, 1999 or 2000. And for the longest, like, there was, like, a really specific order. It's like, love you, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, I want to hold your hand. And, like, I watched the infomercial so many times before I heard any of those songs that I, like, thought of it all as one song. You know, like, I just heard, you know, the chorus of all the songs just coming on one after another in my brain. Anyway, this song's not on that record. Your day breaks, your mind aches. You'll find that all her words of kindness linger on. She no longer needs you. She wakes up, she makes up, she takes her time and doesn't feel she has to hurry. She no longer needs you. But in her eyes you see nothing. No sign of love behind the tears. Cry for no one. A love that should have lasted years. You want her, you need her, and yet you don't believe her when she says her love is dead. You think she needed you. Stay home, she goes out. She says that long ago she knew someone, but now he's gone. She doesn't need him, but in her eyes you see nothing. No sign of love behind the tears. Cry for no one. A love that should have lasted years. Your day breaks, your mind aches. There will be times when all the things she said will fill your head. You won't forget her. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Hey, I got a new mic. Does it work? Can you hear me? Okay,
it
great.
Does sound better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, how's your month been?
The month has been sour.
Yeah. We're almost at the end of it, though. We're almost to spring. The next time we do this, it'll probably be warm out. I'm so excited.
I'm looking forward to it. I also look forward to this day of the month.
Yeah, this is kind of like my favorite part of the month is getting here and doing this. I realized when I walked in that I now am very familiar with what this venue smells like, and smelling it makes me happy.
Huh. I haven't picked up on that.
Oh, yeah. The like wood here has like a very significant smell.
My the like lobby in my building, it's not a lobby, like the entrance of my building and also my bedroom have like an earthen smell to them lately that I can't place. It's really strong, and I'm the only person who can smell it. Sounds like if you cut a raw potato in half and just like buried your nose in it. That's
and
what it smells.
Who amongst us hasn't done that very thing?
No.
The town I live in smells like open sewage because there was there was like some sewage line that broke. I think like when I was graduating high school in 2007, and they just never fixed it. Like everyone's like, yeah, this town smells like shit. That's what it smells like here. If you don't like it, leave.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, Our guest this month is India K. She works at VaynerMedia and also is a artist who... When did your solo show at junior high end? Oh, yeah. So pretty recently just had her first solo show in LA at junior high. Everyone, welcome India. Yeah, you can stand if you want.
Doug is so tall.
I know. It's right.
I don't even want to touch this.
Most people who know your work, I feel like, discover you through the pretty natural form of you showing up on Instagram or some form of social media.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
When did you first start using the internet socially? Maybe not social media, but like using it to communicate with other people. Do you remember like when it started?
Neopets. Like,
oh, damn.
I'm going back. Like 5th grade, yeah. But in this way that I'm using it now, probably Tumblr in college.
Okay.
I think we were talking about this recently.
Whoa, no, we need to talk about Neopets. Don't move on from this yet.
Fine.
We're talking about Neopets. Go on.
Neopets, I feel like, was the first really like social platform for our generation because it had a really social component where you were making friends and exchanging messages, but it was way more anonymous. Like there was no picture of your face, on it. It was just like your pets were your persona. And the first place where you had your face on was MySpace. But before that, it felt really anonymous and felt really weird for that way because you were just a faceless, like, weird animal.
For me, that's AIM and web-based chat rooms.
But I think I was on Neopets before I had an AIM account.
Really?
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm pretty sure.
What grade did you get Neopets?
I think like 5th grade.
Yeah, that's the year I started.
But then I was on AIM in like 6th grade. We didn't have dial-up in my house till I was in 6th grade. My dad was like, it's for business. But I used it for AIM and Neopets.
I just found out the other day that my mom still thinks DSL is fast internet.
Oh my God. Your town sounds horrible. That's awful.
At what point did you realize that you were good at the internet?
Whoa, that's such a weird question that no one's ever asked me before. I don't know. Maybe Tumblr. I don't know what good means. Like Tumblr in that I just started posting stuff that I made and then they started featuring it. So I was like, oh, people want to see it. Like I think when you're first sharing work, you're not really sure if anyone cares. But then to kind of have that weird validation that comes from a platform sharing your work to their general public, whether that means, it is good or not, it's still a validation in some way.
So you get on the Tumblr main page.
Yeah. And that's how I got all these like random people following me on Tumblr. Whereas before it was a very personal place for me. I was like, oh God, I wish I could like delete so much shit. Like when they did that, like they didn't warn me or tell me at all. And all of a sudden one day I like woke up and like, I was like my sophomore year of college. And I just thought, oh my God, these random people can read like the most horrific things I've ever put on here about being in college.
What was the thing that got put on the main site? Do you remember?
It was an installation I hung up somewhere in like the art building at college. Like the first time I'd ever tried to make something that looked like kind of what I'm making today.
How do you feel about it now?
It's terrible. It's like so fucking emotional and unnecessarily like sad. Like I had nothing to be sad about my sophomore year of college. I had like not really experienced anything important yet, but I was like, oh, it still feels terrible. Like everything was awful for some reason.
It's crazy how everything is archived. Like,
yes.
The thing about AIM that I miss a lot is really what you were describing about Neopets is just like this period of time where there was like true anonymity. Oh, fuck, I can't say that word.
Anonymity.
Where you could be truly anonymous on the internet.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist anymore.
It's true, it doesn't. I feel like Reddit's trying to like cling to that in a weird way, but it still doesn't really exist at all because you can trace so many different things and everyone gets called out for the most random stuff, so...
Do you remember when Julia Salazar was running for state senate in the fall?
Uh-huh.
So there was this really weird part of a state senate campaign in New York where things she like said in college, like her like weird political beliefs from when she was an undergraduate came up. And this random thought popped in my head that when I was 14, I just posted on message boards all the time. And it's just in the internet forever.
What was it? Or you just mean in general?
Yeah,
like
just
all
in
your
general.
thoughts?
Like I was just like writing about like comic books and movies on the internet.
I know. I recently did like a search of my Twitter because I got really paranoid. Like I was like, oh my God, what if I said something fucking stupid? But everything I posted at college was like, I'm on the Commons lawn playing a mandolin. Like that was my entire identity.
That is the exact stuff that
You were not like that.
No, I wasn't like that. But like the thing about everything being archived on the internet and having like just a public record of your life way before you're anything resembling a public person, the thing about that terrifies me isn't like the thought that I did or said anything terrible. It's just like every asinine moment in my life is in the public forever.
Yeah.
And that just fills me with...
God, I really want to delete my Tumblr. I want to, like, get off the stage and go delete it. You're making me so... Have you ever thought about kids, though, who have, like, viral videos right now and their babies in them? Like, their life is really documented. Like, we're kind of lucky in that we're in the last generation to have some kind of... Oh, my God, now you're making me mess up the word. I just said it. Anonymity on the internet, but it's really impossible now. Like, at least we had Neopets and kind of... I think my MySpace is gone.
Charlie Bitney probably is going through puberty as we speak.
I think I just saw an interview with him. Yeah, he's probably traumatized.
Oh God. So, can you explain what your day job is for people?
God, I really hope my boss doesn't listen to me just groan when
Nobody
you
listens
say
to this
day job.
podcast. You're fine.
She might. Yeah, I'm a producer at a marketing firm. But I'm within a small division within that marketing firm that basically helps people like brand themselves. So if you're a really interesting person, you have an amazing story to tell, but you don't have the time or resources to tell that story, we'll take you on as a client and we'll produce like a short video series about whatever it is you want to talk about, whether that's your day-to-day life, you have an amazing life, you go to amazing places, we document that, or you want to interview other interesting people. Like one of my clients is, she's the one I always talk about because she's so amazing, but she's one of the members of the women's hockey team for the U.S. team in the Olympics. She scored the winning goal against Canada last year. So she has an amazing story to tell. She actually boycotted U.S. hockey just last year, a couple of years ago before the Olympics, because the women's team was paid so much less than the men's team in U.S. hockey. So she boycotted them and risked her entire career, essentially, just to make a statement and to get equal pay. They won, which is amazing. Now the women's team gets equal pay with the men's team. But she had this really cool story, and, like, no one really knows who she is. Like, you know if you're a really intense, like, hockey fan, but if you don't know her, then I feel like you should know her story. So we take on clients like that where we feel like we can really help them through social media and through the internet make their story known to a wider audience.
Do you think there's a big difference between things that'd be like categorized as like content versus things that'd be categorized as marketing?
I think like all content is marketing now because everyone is just marketing themselves essentially. I have such a like very confusing view on this because I also have like is content art, like when does art become content? Like I talk about this all the time in my head to myself because it's very, I don't know, it's just stressful when you're an artist that uses a lot of social media in that way.
I'm not going to name them, but I heard an artist I really respect say something that bummed me out.
Was it me?
No, it wasn't you.
Oh.
It bummed me out a lot. They said that nobody grows up wanting to make content.
That's really funny, actually.
Yeah,
if they were kidding, but they weren't. They were like very.
Kidding. And the thing about it that bums me out is, I think it's true to some degree in that nobody grows up wanting to like have the things they make reduced to that word,
right?
But also, it makes it sound like making something for a living is beneath them. And that's the thing that bums me out a lot when I feel like we live in a time where art making and marketing are blended so much, and being a person who makes something, being an artist, so much of that job involves marketing yourself, and so much of marketing yourself involves making things to get people to pay attention to you. And the line between art making and marketing is like getting thinner and thinner and thinner. So when you're making something for somebody at work, do you think of it as like, I'm trying to make a good finished product, or I'm trying to make something that markets this person well? Which takes like precedent?
Well, it has to be both. Like, I can't sacrifice one for the other, which is why I'm always at work, and why feel like I don't have any time for my own practice now. Is in the last few months that's become really evident that it needs to be both, because if something's shitty, no one's going to care what the message behind it is, So my job is to make it really amazing and communicate their story.
Does it affect how you think about your own work? Do you when you're posting an Instagram of something you made,
right?
Is the Instagram part of the art you made, or is it just a distribution method for it?
I think it's a distribution method, but I don't like when people don't take Instagram seriously, because it's an extremely legitimate platform where a lot of big decisions are made and a lot of opportunities come through. And when people talk about it they make that for Instagram, I'm like, that's great. It's a huge fucking platform. Why are we still pretending it's not important, or that it's silly to be invested in it? A lot of things happen for people there, a lot of big opportunities. I've had a lot of opportunities for myself come through, and I think I get frustrated when people don't treat it that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes with the general belief that all things that fall under the very broad spectrum of marketing is somewhat lesser, and because Instagram is, for the most part, a marketing platform.
Yeah, and I think...
Or do you disagree with that? Is Instagram not mostly a marketing platform?
Do you want me to put on my, I'm in a client meeting hat? It's a storytelling platform, Jordan. It's not a marketing platform. No, I think it is a marketing tool, but it really depends what you're trying to do with it. Obviously, I'm marketing myself when I'm on that platform. I think in a way everyone is, whether you're, marketing yourself to brands because you want opportunities, or you're marketing yourself to, your friends. When people say oh, I'm not myself on Instagram, I have a personality, that's what marketing is. Okay, we're wrapping something into a box and selling it to you. And that I think everyone's doing that, and I don't think it should be vilified, or I don't think you should feel bad about that, because everyone's doing it.
Oh, I'm gonna lose the audience with this next question, because this is a thing nobody's interested in except me. How do you define what marketing is?
Oh my gosh.
Can I go first? Because I have
please.
This is a conversation I'm
I know you just asked that question so you could say that.
And nobody, well, it's not that, it's just I think about it a lot. And whenever I get the opportunity to talk about it with somebody, they're just that sounds awesome. I don't care.
Okay, yeah, what is marketing? Please explain it to me.
It's just finding the people that care about the thing that you do and communicating why they would care about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... Exactly.
Why does that make people feel bad, though?
I think people segment it into, I saw an ad for a shitty, I saw a Cheeto ad on TV and it was fucking stupid. That's what marketing is to people now. But I think what Instagram is doing is making it obvious that everyone is doing it. What was I'm saying before. It is just a tool for connection more than it's a tool for kind of trying to sell stuff. I think it's becoming that. Which is a little scary, but...
What do you think about the word advertising? Do you think you work in advertising?
We don't say... No, because we don't say that anymore.
Oh, fuck, I'm sorry.
We're marketing.
I'll edit this out.
No, you don't have to.
What's the difference between advertising and marketing?
Nothing. It's just a, new word for the same thing. Advertising's Mad Men, and now we're marketing. Or in nonprofit, there's another word for it in nonprofits, because my parents work in symphony orchestras, and they call it even development.
Okay,
development, cool. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the good one because it's for a nonprofit cause.
What was your first username online?
Oh my god, I really don't want to say it. It's so embarrassing. There's so many people I respect in the room. It was Rock Metal Writer. Capital R, capital M, capital W. Thank you. You're so supportive. You're so...
How long have you been using the one you're using now?
Oh, Heartbread?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It was my Tumblr as well, so since my sophomore year of college.
Where's it come from?
It's from an Animal Collective song, actually.
Which one?
It's called Tickwid. It's a B-side, so maybe you don't know it, but I was really into Animal Collective in college,
I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm trying to think of a good way to put this.
I'm nervous.
No, it's not. It's not bad. I'm just trying to figure out a better way to articulate something that I'm feeling.
so is everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, maybe I shouldn't have picked something where I have to talk in front of a microphone and do minimal editing once a month. You did this thing recently, and I want to know how you feel about it.
I did this thing?
Yeah. The Urban Outfitters thing.
Oh, yeah.
So when you're working at your job, you are helping somebody communicate directly to their audience. In your private work, you have a web store and you do shows and you have really popular social media. For the most part, you are entirely directly communicating with your audience. This is like the one instance where you are both working with a brand and also communicating with your audience. You're not working with a brand on behalf of somebody else. Mm-hmm. You're doing it on behalf of yourself. How does that feel?
It feels amazing.
Does it feel different than when you're working alone?
I think in this particular instance, it didn't really, because they let me do literally whatever I wanted, which was really, really nice, and very rare for opportunities like that. They just said, like, send us a bunch of different, like, items you want to make for our store and what you want them to look like, or, like, what you want to put on them, and I could do whatever I wanted. So it didn't feel that different because I was still just by myself in my apartment, like, working on designs and different text design, I guess. So it was kind of the same.
A lot of the work you do photography, but it's largely installation-based, like text art. And you have like a web store where you'll sell some of your text art on things that people can buy. But I can't really imagine it's like a huge cash cow because it's all screen printed stuff and kind of reasonably priced. So, I mean, unless there's something about installation art that I don't know, I have to imagine this is the most monetized version of your private art.
Yeah.
Is this something you want to do more of the future, or do you like the balance between having a creative job that you find fulfilling and not having to make your art for a living?
I think I'm realizing more and more that I feel very, very lucky that I don't rely on my art for my income, because I can be so experimental and I don't have to really worry if it'll sell or if I'll be able to sell it. So I think I'm coming to terms with the fact that I like having a day job. It's very difficult.
Me too.
Yeah.
This is like one of the big realizations as I get older.
Yeah.
Is I really love not having the pressure of having to like do something creative for money.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure.
Would you change it if you could?
I think if I wasn't living in like New York and maybe it was like somewhere a little less intense or place with less pressure creatively, I could. But as long as I'm here, it'll probably be like this.
Cool.
But that's just me. I respect people who do it full time. I couldn't do it. I'm in awe of them, truly.
Cool. I think that's it.
Cool.
Everyone, thank India. Doug, you want to come up and play some more songs?
This is a song. I'm going to play some of my songs now. This is a song. I'm working on a record. And this is a song from the record. How sweet it would be not have a brain, and how simple to stand in the rain. I'm doing all right, but I just gotta say, how sweet it would be to not have a brain. There is a single rain cloud the size of a compact sedan that follows beyond me wherever I walk and hovers above me wherever stand, and I can't explain how sweet it would be to not have a brain. How simple to stand in the rain. I know that it's wrong, but I just gotta say how sweet it would be to not have a brain. Oh, how sweet it would be to not have a brain. Yeah, that's a song called How Sweet It Would Be to Not Have a Brain. It's going to be the last one I do tonight. I mentioned before that this is a rough month, and we lost an old friend of ours named Mark Fletcher. I went to middle school with him, and he was around in New York, Shea Stadium guy, a big advocate and champion of local music, and an aggressively friendly person who I cared about a lot. So I wrote this hymn a little while ago, and I'm gonna sing it. When my mind blows and my sight goes and my heart stops keeping time, and this golden bus I ride on finds a last stop on its line, will you be there waiting for me? With my name on a cardboard sign, will you walk me to my next bus? Will you board it by my side? Will I know which bus is mine, Lord? Will I know which bus is mine? Without you there as my guide, mine, Lord? Will I know which bus is mine, Lord? Will I know which bus is mine, Lord? When I arrive. Thank you. Lucia? Ready?
Cool. So my name is Lucia. I play in 2 different bands. One is called Turnip King, and the other one is Anna Altman, and I'm going to be playing some Anna Altman songs tonight. You won't move nearer. You try to ask, but you're somewhere far. Listen loud, listen clearer. Said again, 'cause you're a repeater. What exactly is going on? You get a trophy for acting like that. It's made of glass, but it's gilded. Bright hearts. The right time, yeah, you're moving too quickly, yeah. you're listening one. You're pretty people, so we can own that. That sounds like something that I'd be doing. 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 That sounds like something I said. 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 So we can own that. Cool. Sound okay? Perfect. It sounds incredible up here. I'm trying to figure out the next song. It's called Never, and it's on the album that my bandmate Christian and I put out called Freightliner. It came out, I think, 2 years ago. What breaks you can also take it back. Try to rush ahead. You're only moving slower. It takes up your whole life. Think that you can't. Try to rush it down. Try to take off and I never told you this. And I'm not kidding, man. I'm not kidding. What a little bit today. Tomorrow. My whole life will flash in your car ride. Feels like I did so little. Take up this space. Try to make it my own. You're telling me now I don't need a doctor. I'm hazed and I'm an odd. And I said, I never told you this. told you this. No, I'm not kidding, man. I'm not kidding. Maybe like two more? Maybe.
Yeah, we're good on time.
Okay, cool.
Wait, yes. What I just said isn't that true. You broke it.
I was gonna dress up like Mr. Met. But then I just decided to wear a Mets hat instead. And I got it on eBay, and then when it got delivered, I put it on and I noticed that the rim is crooked. So don't buy hats on eBay. Thank you so much. That was India. She said it was really cool. is going to be probably on our next album. I don't know when that's going to come out. And the last one is going to be the ending track of our last release, our first album, called MCPhD. This is a new one.
Memories I felt I needed, ugly proof with a cognizant dreaming of what occurred first in the pictures before you hung them. And yes, it's done still. That's the last one. Thank you so much for having me. Playing is Anna Altman, but my name is Lucia.
Bye.